Hello, my dear students. Welcome you all to Sri Jayendra Rank Zone classes. I am your mentor and your friend for the subject biology, and I will be taking care of the zoology part, that is the animal science. My dear students, in the previous video, we have learned about the characteristic features of reptiles, class Reptilia. The class Reptilia is further divided into different subclasses, and we are going to start with subclass Anapsida. Anapsida basically includes different orders, in which one of the most common order which includes the amphibious reptiles. Amphibious reptiles. Okay. So amphibious reptiles, it simply means that the reptiles which shares some of the characteristics of amphibians. So they basically act as a connecting link. So coming to subclass Anapsida, the very first is the temporal foci. They are absent in temporal region, that is skull. So temporal foci, they are absent in the temporal region, that is skull. Means roof of the skull is basically complete and limbs are very strong. Roof of the skull is complete and limbs are very strong. It includes order Cotylosauria. The Cotylosauria is already been part of competitive examination of All India Pre-Medical Entrance Examination 2011. That order Cotylosauria, it comes under which subclass Anapsida. Anapsida. It includes Semoria. Please remember the name Semoria, which act as a connecting link between amphibians and reptiles. These are extinct animals which basically behave as both amphibians and reptiles. Now they are extinct. Now the second order is order Chelonia. Order Chelonia. First is Cotylosauria, second is the Chelonia. Body is broad and oval. The shape of the body is broad and oval. They are terrestrial, as well as they live in marine as well as fresh water, right? The whole body is covered by firm bony shell, means they have a body covering which is basically covered by a bony shell. Exoskeleton of the dorsal regions, mean the back side of the body, is called carapace. Please remember this term. Carapace is dorsal, dorsal, carapace, ventral, plastron. So DC, BP, dorsal carapace, carapace, and ventral plastron. And the skeleton of ventral region, it basically is covered with plastron. Jaws are horny and teethless. No teeth. Teeth are absent. The term is anodontia or adontia. Sorry. So they basically don't have any teeth. That's why the term is adontia. No teeth. Beak like jaws are found. The jaws, they are basically beak shaped. Okay. Jaws are horny. They don't have any teeth arrangement, mean adontia, and the beak, they are modified into jaws. Okay. Scales are found on neck, limbs, and tail. So scales are present especially in the neck region, limb region, and the tail region. All these three organs can be pushed into carapace. Okay, so carapace is considered to be the segment which is a dorsal covering of the exoskeleton. Okay, so the organs they can be pushed into carapace and the body size can be increased, right? Thoracic vertebrae and ribs are attached with carapace. The thoracic vertebrae and the ribs they are basically attached to the carapace part. Okay. Cloacal aperture is vertical, very important. In these organisms, cloacal aperture is vertical. Okay. In the other categories, the cloacal aperture was, it is horizontal. Okay. But here, the cloacal aperture is vertical. Understood? So it basically represents a vertical cloacal aperture. Reptilians they have typical cloaca, means true cloaca. Okay, reptilians they have typical cloaca. Okay, it helps in respiration. Okay, this vertical cloacal aperture it helps in respiration. Example: testudo, which is land tortoise. Testudo, which is land tortoise. Tryons, awnings, freshwater terrapins, which are edible. Okay, so freshwater terrapins means tryons. Okay, kelone, marine tortoise or turtles. Okay, so kelone they are marine tortoise or turtles, also known as kachu gatakam. Kachu gatakam. So cloacal aperture is vertical, okay, in these organisms, and the vertical cloacal aperture it basically helps to respire. It includes testudo, lead tortoise, tryons, freshwater terrapins, which are edible, and the third is the marine tortoise, means the turtles, chelone, and also known as kachukatkam. Now, moving to the next slide, these are some important facts. This is a diagram which basically help you to understand about tortoise. This is tortoise and this is turtle. Okay. Snakes and lizards they don't have secondary limbs. Very important. So snakes and lizards they don't have secondary limbs. Reptiles and birds, cloaca is three-chambered. Okay, it was a part of Neet examination 2016. That is for conservation of water. So reptiles and birds they basically excrete uric acid to conserve water, and that is why the cloaca is three-chambered, right? Aquatic turtles, I mean aquatic reptiles, especially the turtles which are ureotelic means they excrete urea in excretion. Okay, so aquatic turtles they excrete urea while the others they excrete the uric acid. Okay, tortoise when disturbed withdraws all the body parts in the tortoise shell. This is the tortoise shell which gives a glimpse of the age. Tortoise is a symbol of long lifespan, that is around 200 years. Crocodile is the largest amphibious reptile. It has certain mammalian characters as well. Okay, like having four-chambered heart. Understood? Unanimous quail, commonly called as Indian nightingale. Okay, unanimous. Just these are some important facts. Okay, it is not like that they are basically of the reptilian or the Pisces family, what we have covered, or the amphibian family. They are just important facts, important names. Toito, owl. It is nocturnal, bird of prey. It has the keenest eyesight at night and has binocular vision. because of very well developed rod cells. It is important in biological control of rats in field. In hedgehog, the hair of dorsal side of trunk are modified into spines for defense. So in hedgehog, the hair of dorsal side of trunk are modified into spines. Insectivores are the simplest true placental mammals. There are some mammals which are basically insectivores and they are supposed to be the true placental mammals, right? So hedgehog only, it is an insectivore which is okay having a dorsal side of trunk which is modified into spines. Okay. Now coming to next subclass Diapsida. First is subclass Anapsida. So Diapsida, in this class, one pair of superior and one pair of inferior temporal fossae are found in the temporal region of the skull. Okay. So Diapsida, di means two. That is why they have one pair of superior and one pair of inferior temporal fossae, which is present on the temporal region of the skull. Order Rhynchocephalia. Rhynchocephalia is an order. Most of the species are extinct and found as fossils. Okay, long living with 100 years of age possible. Rhynchocephalia. Only Spinidopunctum or punctatum, Spinidopunctatum species, they are alive and they are endemic to New Zealand. Spinopunctatum. A functional third eye or the pineal eye is present in the head region. A functional third eye or pineal eye is present in the head region. Teeth are of acrodont type. Okay, means they are attached on the alveolar ridge like this. Okay, acrodont type. Spiridopunctatum includes Totara, which is a living fossil. It is found only in New Zealand. So please remember Totara, it is basically a Spinidopunctatum, which is a living fossil belonging to Diapsida family. Okay, Diapsida subclass. Order. Order, the next order, the first order is Rhynchocephalia, the second order is Squamaton. The limbs are present and they have claws. Snakes and some lizards, they lack limbs. Snakes and some lizards, they lack limbs. Skin has horny scales. Skin is covered with horny scales. Copulatory organs are paired in males. Means that's why it is known as what? Hemipenis. Okay. So hemipenis, it is seen in Diapsida subclass. Okay. Order Squamaton. Okay. Or Squamation. So Squamation, the copulatory organs are paired. They are known as what? Hemipenis. Understood? So these are some common orders of subclass Diapsida, Rhynchocephalia and Squamation. Okay. Now coming to next, Totara is also known as Spinodon. Totara is also known as Spinodon. That's why it is known as what? Spinidopunctatum. It is a carnivore and nocturnal organism. And it is lizard-like. Okay. They have rudimentary pineal eye or the third eye already explained, and they are mainly found in the areas of New Zealand. Now the next is suborder Lacertilian. Okay, the next order, the next subclass after Anapsida, Diapsida is Lacertilian. Okay, the Lacertilian, it includes lizards. The science that deals with the study of lizards is known as what? Zoology. The study of lizards is known as what? Zoology. Limbs and girdles are very well developed in lizards. limbs and girdles. Means the pectoral and the pelvic girdles. Eyelids are movable. In the previous classes, you have been told that the upper eyelid is movable or the lower eyelid is movable, but not both the eyelids were movable. Nictitating membrane, especially in the aquatic reptilians and the amphibians, were absent. Here, the nictitating membrane is present. Nictitating membrane in mammals is a vestigial organ. So, in humans, nictitating membrane is vestigial. For the very first time, the suborder Lacertilian, it comes with the auditory aperture, means the external auditory meatus, or the auditory opening, means true ears. They were first seen in suborder Lacertilian, and tympanum is also present. Tympanum is also present. Urinary bladder is also present. In the previous classes, urinary bladder was absent. Foramen of Piazza is present in the heart of lizard. So foramen of Piazza is present in the heart of lizard. Pair of lungs are equally and well developed. So when we compare the lizard to salamander, so salamander ear openings were absent. Lizard ear openings are present. In lizard, the fingers and toes, they have claws. Okay, CLAWS, claws. But in case of salamander, the claws were absent. The foramen of Piazza, it is present in the heart of lizard, and lungs are paired and they are well developed. Hemidactylus, known as common lizard or wall lizard, it can shed its own tail at the time of emergency. This process is known as what? Autotomy. Okay. Power of regeneration is well marked. Okay. So autotomy is to release any body part depending on the self will if the organisms comes under the process or in the mechanism of defense. So autotomy is basically the releasing or shedding of its own tail. Callets, bloodsucker or garden lizard is girgit. So callets, they are blood-sucking lizards. Garden lizard, girgit, it can change its color according to the environment. Camouflage. Draco, flying lizard, it is having patagia, which helps in the glide. It cannot fly, it can only glide because of these two wings or patagia. Chameleon, also known as arboreal lizard, it is viviparous, also known as girgit. Varanus, goho. Monitor lizard, also known as monitor lizard, goho. Then Varanus comodensis, ferocious dragon, the largest living lizard. So ferocious dragon is the largest living lizard, or the scientific name is Varanus comodensis. Ophiosaurus, it is a limbless lizard. Ophiosaurus, so please remember the name Ophiosaurus. Ferocious, great dragon, the largest living lizard. Okay. Then the Draco, flying lizard, and Hemidactylus, common lizard or wall lizard. Okay. This limbless lizard is also known as glass snake, Ophiosaurus. Barcudia, it is also a limbless lizard found in South India, Barcudia. So Barcudia and Ophiosaurus, they don't have limbs. Heloderma, also known as Gila monster or Hela monster, it is the only poisonous lizard. Okay. The poison glands are modified sublingual gland. Okay. The poison glands, they are modified sublingual glands. Mobua, a viviparous lizard. Mobua is a viviparous lizard. Understood? Phariosoma, horned toad. It is also viviparous. Euromastix, sand lizard or sander. So you have to remember the name of Hemidactylus, Draco, ferocious dragon, the largest living lizard, and Ophiosaurus, the limbless lizard. Then Heloderma, Gila monster. Okay, so these are some common lizards. Foramen of Piazza, it is present in the heart of lizard, and the pair of lungs which are equally developed. Right. Now coming to next slide, suborder Ophidia. So after suborder Lacertilian, we come up with suborder Ophidia. Suborder Ophidia, it includes snakes. The study of snakes is known as what? Ophiology or serpentology. Body is long, thin, smooth and limbless, no limbs. Eyelids are immovable. In suborder Lacertilian, Diapsida especially, the eyelids were movable and nictitating membrane in the eyes are absent in case of Ophidia. Okay. If you have a look in the previous slide, the eyelids were movable and nictitating membrane in the eye was present. Okay. In suborder Lacertilian, which includes lizards. So when lizards are compared with snakes, the lizards they have eyelids which can be movable and nictitating membrane was present. In case of snakes, the eyelids are immovable and nictitating membrane in the eyes are absent. Girdles were very well developed in case of lizards. Girdles, sternum and urinary bladder are present. Sorry, they are absent in case of snakes. So snakes, they don't have any girdle, sternum and urinary bladder. But in case of lizards, girdles were also present, sternum was also present and urinary bladder was also present. Auditory opening and tympanum absent, while in case of lizard, auditory opening and tympanum were present. No middle ear. In case of snakes, no middle ear. Tongue is thin, long and bifid. Like this. Bifid tongue. Okay. And it is sensitive to vibration and odor, means smell. Left lung is ill developed in case of snakes, while in case of lizards, both the lungs were equally developed. Leathery shell is found on eggs of snakes. Yeah, that's true. Leathery shell was found in eggs, okay, of snakes. There are two types of snakes, non-poisonous snakes and poisonous snakes. Non-poisonous snakes basically includes Naja Naja, that is the king cobra, okay, and many other different snakes. I will also tell you that how will you identify a poisonous and a non-poisonous snake. Okay. Now coming to next, python, asgar. It is a non-poisonous snake, largest snake, length around 25 feet. Rudiments of hind limbs are found on the body. So rudimentary hind limbs they are found on the body. Then Pythus mucosus or Xemenis mucosus or rat snake. It also acts as a friend to farmers to basically engulf all the rats which are basically mean the rodents which will destroy the crops, and that is why it helps to kill the rats, protect the crops indirectly. Okay, and that is why it is considered to be the friend of farmers. It is commonly known as dhaman. Okay, Eryx joni, sand boa. It is also called dhumi snake. Okay, so Eryx johi is also known as what? Dhumi snake or sand boa. Typhlops, blind snake. Okay, Typhlops is a blind snake. Eryx joni, sand boa, also known as dhumi snake. Then python, asgar. Okay. Now coming to next slide, poisonous snakes. Poisonous snakes, it includes Najaraja, that is Indian cobra, Ophiophagus henna, the king cobra. So Ophiophagus henna is known as king cobra and Naja Naja Indian cobra. The poisonous snake, it includes hydrophis, which is marine, deadly poisonous, tail is literally compressed. Aquatic, especially the aquatic snakes or the sea snakes, they have their tail which is literally compressed. Okay, they are viviparous. They are viviparous, mean young ones laying. Naja Naja, Indian cobra, poisonous snake. Its poison is neurotoxic. Neurotoxic means it will paralyze the nerves, especially of central nervous system. Okay, so neurotoxin, it acts on the nervous system, especially the venom of cobra, sea snake, and coral snake, and krat. Okay, Naja bungerus or Naja henna, also known as Ophiophagus henna. Ophiophagus henna. King cobra, poisonous snake. It is the largest snake among the poisonous snakes. Okay, head with one or two circular marks. Head is basically having one or two circular marks in case of Naja bungarus or Ophiophagus henna, king cobra. Okay, like this. This type of pattern is present on the body, on the dorsal side or on the ventral side. Okay, Bankerus, great, poisonous and it is neurotoxic. Okay, Viper, it is hemotoxic. Okay, head is differentiated from body. Poisonous snake, viviparous, and its venom is hemotoxic. Okay, or cardiotoxic. The L'Oreal pit, in case of viper, they act as a thermoreceptors to sense the temperature changes. Largest viper is the Russell viper, which is having a V mark on head. Okay, so they are having V mark on head. The largest viper, that is the Russell viper. Then Micrurus, coral snake, it is also poisonous. Coratulus, rattlesnake, it is also poisonous. It produces a characteristic rattling sound of rat, rat, rat. So it is called rat snake. It is poisonous and it is ovoviviparous, mean both egg laying and then young ones laying as well. Okay, so ovoviviparous. Crotalus. So you have to remember the name of Naja, Indian cobra, Naja vulgaris or Naja henna, king cobra or Ophiophagus henna, king cobra, highly poisonous, largest snake among poisonous snakes. Okay, it is also the largest snake among the poisonous snake. Then Bungarus, Krat, it is also poisonous, neurotoxic. Okay, Naja vulgaris, Naja henna is also neurotoxic. Then Viper, hemotoxic or cardiotoxic. It is having a L'Oreal pit which is acting as a thermoreceptor to perceive the thermal sensations. Now coming to next slide, these are the different identification features of non-poisonous and poisonous snakes. Okay, like in case of non-poisonous snakes, the belly is having small scales or belly scales are narrow. In case of poisonous snakes, the belly scales or ventral plates, they are enlarged. They are enlarged. Okay. So identification is done. Observe tail. First of all, you will observe the tail. If the tail is pointed and cylindrical, they are known as what? Land snakes. If the tail is flat, means compressed, then sea snakes. Sea snakes are mainly poisonous. Okay. Then the belly scales in case of non-poisonous were small, and in case of poisonous snakes, it is, the belly scales in case of non-poisonous are small and narrow. You can see narrow belly scales, non-poisonous. Okay. Now observe head. Small scales on head in case of poisonous snakes. Okay. Pit viper, which is act as a thermoreceptor. It is also a poisonous snake. The large shields. Okay. Presence of large shields. Poisonous or non-poisonous. Okay. And the most important is the third supralabial scale, which touches the eye and nostrils. So the third supralabial scale, which touches the eye and nostrils. while fourth infralabials, they have large head. Okay, so these are some common differences between the poisonous and non-poisonous snakes. Yeah, here you can understand the belly scales. In case of poisonous, they are large and they cover the entire breadth, means the uh, thickness uh, of snake belly. Non-poisonous, they are small and they never cover. So belly scales in case of poisonous snakes, it is very large and it is covered or it covers the entire breadth of belly. Okay. In case of non-poisonous snakes, it is small and they never cover. Head scales, usually small in vipers, maybe large in pit vipers, cobras and coral snakes where third labial touches the eye. Okay. And nasal shields. Karat, where there is no pit and the third labial does not touch the nose and eye. So Karat is a poisonous snake. Even then, there is no modification of the third labial part. Okay. In case of non-poisonous snakes, they are usually large with exceptions as outlined under poisonous snakes. Fangs. In case of poisonous snake, fangs are hollow, mean like a hypodermic needle. And in case of non-poisonous, it is short and solid. Tail compressed in case of poisonous snakes. Non-poisonous, it is not markedly compressed. In case of poisonous snakes, they are mainly nocturnal. Okay, non-poisonous snakes, they are not only nocturnal. The fang impression, okay, in case of poisonous snakes, mean two fangs marks with or without marks of other teeth. Okay, but in case of non-poisonous snakes, two fang marks with the number of small teeth as well. Okay. Now, characteristic features of poisonous snakes. First is presence of head or hood, which are having small scales. Scales are mainly present in tail trunk regions. Marine snakes, they are laterally compressed tail, okay, to withstand the pressure, okay. So marine snakes, they have lateral compressed tail to withstand the pressure. Vertical scales we are present in body, which are broad, and these vertical scales, they help to identify or they help us to understand, okay, they belong to chordates, right? Two teeth marks the snake to be poisonous. Okay, the two presence of two teeth marks of the snake, consider that this snake is poisonous, and if it is V-shaped, then it is non-poisonous. In case of poisonous snakes, the mark is like this. Poisonous snake. And in case of non-poisonous snake, it comes like this. Okay. Poisonous glands, they may be modified parotid gland or labial glands. Okay. These labial glands, they basically are homologous or similar in origin to parotid glands of mammals. Poisonous teeth means fangs which are modified maxillary teeth. This you have to remember, maxillary teeth they modified to form. Poison teeth means fangs. Then antivenom dose treats the poisonous snake bite. Antivenom is produced in India at Central Research Institute, Kaushalya, Shimla. Okay, it's not Kaushalya, it is Kasauli. Okay, biggest serpentorium is in the Chennai. Okay, so poisonous snakes, their characteristic features are presence of hood or head, which is having small scales. Marine snakes, they have literally compressed tail. Ventral scales, they are present in the body and broad like animal kingdom. Two teeth marks the snake to be poisonous, and if it is V-shaped, then it is non-poisonous. Poisonous teeth fangs are modified maxillary teeth. Okay. Now coming to next slide. Order Crocodilla or Loricata. The next is order Crocodilia or Loricata. Crocodiles or alligators, they are common examples of this order. Okay. Amphibians, animals that live in the lakes or rivers and on land as well. The largest modern reptiles. It includes the largest in surface area of modern reptiles. body scutes are covering the skin. Okay, so the fact is this body scutes means what? The body scales which are covering the skin. Okay, scutes or bony plates. I should write scutes or bony plates. Body is solid with massive long snout with external nares and are situated at the distal end of the snout, and nares have cover also. Urinary bladder is absent. Special features: heart is four chambered, where ventricle has two chambers and auricle has two chambers. There is no urinary bladder. Body is solid with massive long snout with external nares are situated at the distal end of the snout, means this part. Yeah, like this. And they have teeth arranged. Okay. Urinary bladder is absent. Special features are heart is four chambered, thecodon dentition, diaphragm is present. Example: crocodile or crocodilus is found in Indian subcontinent. Gravelous means ghadial, and in ghadial snout is very long. And alligator, Mexican crocodile. Okay, so is that understood? So this was the order Crocodilia or Loricata. Okay, these are some common characteristics. Yeah, here you can compare a crocodile, then alligator, and then Gavilis or Gadial. Understood? Crocodile, alligator, and Gavilis or Gadial. In case of Gravilis or Gadial, during breeding season, there is a presence of hump, which is looks like a earthen pot, gada, at the end of the snout of male. Hence, they are given name Gadial. Okay. Alligator, such structure does not means hump is not developed in alligator or crocodile, and hump is only seen in case of ghadials. Okay. Teeth in crocodiles they were unequal, but in alligators and gravilis means ghadial they are almost equal. Okay. So order Saurischia. The dinosaurs they belong to be the most dangerous or terrible lizards. Origin of dinosaurs began in the Triassic period and they got extinct in Cretaceous period. Okay, in the Mesozoic era. Example: Brontosaurus, thunder lizard, largest dinosaur, herbivores, Stegosaurus, Tyrannosaurus, the tyrant lizard, or the king of dinosaurs. So this was about the different orders and the suborders of reptilian family. The next will be discussed in the next class. Till then, my dear students, take care, please. Stay safe, stay at home.